Well, well, well. It looks like Harry and Meghan have been forced into a decision nobody saw coming. After months of speculation about Meghan finally making her grand return to British soil, the trip has reportedly been cancelled. This was clearly not how Harry and Meghan wanted things to go.
A shocking headline on the front page of the Mail on Sunday. Dismay for the King as Harry says he may not bring Meghan and the kids back to the UK.
This was supposed to be Meghan's big comeback moment. Instead, something happened behind the scenes that completely changed the plan. Royal author Tom Bower has reportedly uncovered exactly why, and the reason is not pretty.
She is very calculating and very ruthless and very self-promoting, but she's taken on more in the end than she can chew.
Here is what we know. The Invictus Games are locked in for Birmingham, with rehearsals already scheduled for this coming July. As the founder of the Games, Harry has no choice but to be there. Meghan was also reportedly planning to tag along, marking her first trip to British soil in 4 years, but now that decision has changed.
I think that's what the Invictus Games, which is this very splendid competition for wounded servicemen, is going to start in Birmingham next year, but there's a rehearsal later in the summer. And Harry is determined to come, and if he could, he'd bring Meghan and somehow work his way back in so that they have status.
And of course, the trip was never just about the Invictus Games. They also planned to make time to visit Princess Diana's grave, which conveniently lined up perfectly with the press coverage. On paper, it looked like a sweet and thoughtful gesture. In reality, people were not buying it.
Prince Harry and Meghan could be staying at Althorp House, Princess Diana's ancestral estate, in West Northamptonshire. I feel very British. They're going to be staying in West Northamptonshire, having high tea and crumpets and scones. The estate's website notes that it will be closed to visitors next month, prompting speculation that Harry and his family could visit or even stay there during the family trip. Now, this is where Princess Diana is buried, and with the family's visit falling shortly after her birthday, this could make sense. Her birthday is on July 1st.
However, after every consideration had been made, Harry has decided not to bring Meghan and the kids with him, and Tom Bower has revealed the reason behind the sudden decision. Bower revealed that the excitement of returning to the United Kingdom overwhelmed Harry so much that he overlooked one major issue that had been hanging over him for years: security. For a long time now, Prince Harry has been asking for fully taxpayer-funded security for himself and his family whenever they visit the United Kingdom.
Absolutely. I mean, the cost of living for them is enormous. I mean, the security alone, which they feel they need, must cost between $1.5 and $2 million a year.
So, when plans for the trip began, he once again requested security protection. Reports suggested that the Royal and VIP Executive Committee, known as RAVEC, stated they needed time to assess the situation before providing a final answer. Expecting a positive response, Harry and his family started making preparations for the journey. However, just days before the planned trip, the request was denied once again.
That's why I trust the process. RAVEC, who did deny Harry this additional security that he's requested, it's their job to assess credible threats using intelligence the public doesn't have access to. And if they concluded Harry doesn't require the level of taxpayer-funded security he's demanding, I have to assume that decision was based on the best available evidence.
Harry has repeatedly stated that he will not bring his wife and children to the United Kingdom unless they receive the same level of security that is provided to working members of the royal family, citing ongoing threats since he and Meghan stepped away from royal duties.
But with Harry previously stating that his wife and children are not safe in Britain, he's backed himself into a really awkward corner here. But you're absolutely right. It would be catastrophic if anything happened to Harry and Meghan while they were visiting the UK.
Although he appealed the decision that removed his security back in 2020, he ultimately lost the case in court. So, if Harry wants that level of protection now, he would have to pay for it himself. As a result, Harry has reportedly been reassessing the entire situation. He has been weighing whether it would be worth risking the safety of his family by bringing them to the United Kingdom without the level of security he believes they need, or whether he should simply leave Meghan and the children behind in California. It now appears he has chosen the latter. as there is growing doubt that Meghan and the children will be joining him on the trip.
And that, now I'm reconsidering bringing Meghan and the children, which we all know is just Harry and Meghan trying to manipulate the media and bully King Charles into a corner.
According to Tom Bauer, the tension within the royal family has still not been resolved. Harry remains at odds with his older brother, Prince William, and William is still deeply upset about everything that has happened over the past few years. Meghan has also been seen by many as one of the major causes of the breakdown in the relationship between the brothers.
On the other hand, William, under no circumstances, in my opinion, would allow Harry to come back, and Meghan would be certainly stopped midway across the Atlantic.
That is exactly what has happened. After getting denied for taxpayer-funded security, Harry has no choice but to leave his wife behind. They have been cornered, because if Harry brings Meghan to the UK without the security, then he would be going back on his words and proving that he caused all the fuss for nothing. Additionally, there are reportedly senior royal staff members who are still not on good terms with Meghan Markle. So why would you willingly walk into a place where you know the relationships have not yet been repaired? That would be a very difficult situation for anyone, not because anyone would harm Meghan, but because she would not receive the warm welcome that a member of the royal family would normally expect.
Insiders are describing her, as you know, quote, a dictator in high heels who terrifies staff and accusations of her belittling people. They constantly demand respect and privacy, but again, treat their own employees with zero respect and create a revolving door of allegedly terrified staff. So
many people within royal circles still associate her with allegations of bullying and believe she was unwilling to respect the traditions and structure of royal life. She has not made peace with the institution, and returning now could easily reopen old wounds that have barely begun to heal. The trust between both sides has been badly damaged, and a return to the United Kingdom could bring all those unresolved issues back to the surface.
Well, there's a whole story about her attitude to people she works with, especially in a photo shoot about Reitman's, a sort of Marks and Spencer's chain store in Canada, where the experience for all the 80 crew was just horrendous. And there was two agents who told horrible stories about her bullying and her oppression. That was really quite a revelation. Her father...
Bauer also expressed the view that Meghan dislikes the British media so much that the thought of facing them again would be enough to make her feel uncomfortable. According to him, Meghan Markle wants to avoid confronting British media, at least until her conditions are met. Right now, she is trying to rebuild her already declining popularity, and returning to Britain could bring another wave of headlines she would rather avoid. Meghan has consistently ranked among the most unpopular public figures in several opinion polls, so from her perspective, this may not be the right time to return. She reportedly wants to avoid another round of negative headlines. It isn't only the media she has to think about. Public support for both Meghan Markle and even the once beloved Prince Harry has declined significantly over recent years. To avoid protests, uncomfortable public reactions, or another difficult media cycle, Meghan is reportedly choosing to stay behind while Harry travels alone.
And people on the whole are bored to death with her and her jam and her silly speeches and ridiculous shots on Instagram, and suddenly becomes an irritating irrelevance. And that is really, I think, in her darkest moments, her greatest fear. What happens when the show stops completely because the world is not interested?
According to Bauer, another issue is accommodation. Although there have been reports suggesting King Charles could make arrangements for Harry during his visit, that reportedly isn't enough for Meghan. Meghan is believed to want something much bigger. She reportedly hopes that returning to Britain could help restore some of the relevance she believes she has lost over the years. However, that appears highly unlikely. Since leaving Frogmore Cottage, Harry and Meghan no longer have an official royal residence in Britain. Plus, royal critics believe that even if the accommodation had been provided, William would not have let these two film themselves in a palace and pose as royals. So, from her point of view, why return to the United Kingdom if she cannot act like a royal living in a palace?
And as for the accommodation in a royal palace, well, we've got so many empty royal palaces at the moment. I don't think that's going to be a huge issue. The issue will only be if they allow themselves to be filmed and photographed as if they were members of the royal family. I think that is where the line's going to have to be drawn.
Their major commercial ventures, including Netflix, Spotify, and even Meghan's lifestyle brand, have struggled to meet expectations. Because of this, there are claims that they are no longer in the same financial position they once enjoyed. The luxurious hotels they previously stayed in are now said to be far more difficult to justify financially.
Their problem is that they've got no future. I mean, as ever, all her products, of course, is a complete disaster. She's got no Netflix series. She hasn't got any project at all. And they are literally wallowing in in a maze where to go. And so predictably. And so that is the problem. And for them to come back in the midst of the current royal crisis here.
Meghan's reported decision not to accompany Harry is also creating what many see as a practical separation in their priorities. Harry appears focused on maintaining his UK connections, supporting veterans through the Invictus Games, and possibly rebuilding some family relationships, while Meghan seems more interested in remaining in California with the children. Harry reportedly wants the opportunity to reconnect with his family and spend more time in the country where he grew up. Meghan, on the other hand, would return to the UK only if her demands are met. And her demands, oh my God, she is delusional. You should check out the other video I made, in which I shared her insane list of demands.
That she never intended to stay in Britain, but just took the title. And in the end, what I really hold against her, she betrayed all those people who tried very hard, from the best of intentions, from the Queen downwards, to make her feel welcome and believe that she would integrate herself into the royal family, into Britain.
Since stepping back from royal duties, Meghan no longer has any official role that requires her presence in the United Kingdom. So, while Harry may still attend the Invictus Games rehearsals, Meghan would not have the platform she hoped could help rebuild her damaged public image, nor would she have the opportunity to promote her lifestyle products, which many believe have struggled to gain momentum. So, it is difficult for Meghan to come to the UK unless Harry is willing to pay for the security, which is not very likely as they are running out of money.
As the rest. So I think that they're running out of money. I mean, I've conservatively put their annual expenditure at 3 million, but for that they have to earn 4 or 5 million. And it's they're running out of money because they run out of people to interest to buy their story. And that's why I think in the end they'll be desperate to come back to Britain to revalidate and reconcile with the royal family, which in the end will be the only way they might be able to save themselves. But I think that's a remote possibility.
Instead of winning back relevance, the trip is likely to cause more harm than good to Meghan. Staying away might just be the safer move for Meghan right now. But according to Tom Bower, do not get comfortable thinking this is over. He believes the timing may not be right today, but eventually Harry and Meghan will run out of options. Every single venture they have tried has failed, and the well is running dry. Bower believes that is exactly why Harry has been so determined to hold on to whatever relationship he has left with his family, because deep down he knows that one day the UK might be the only place left to go. So, what do you think? Will Harry and Meghan eventually be forced back to Britain, or will they keep fighting it out in America? Let us know in the comments. And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video.